Do you think that this is like a deep state plan? Do you really like it's part of their plan is to just like break down all of the values that we have here, like that we cherish as an American, like all the family values, the self worth values, this critical thinking values, to just make us dumb and like useful idiots, basically?
Yeah, have you ever heard of Halon's razor? It's
No.
a it's a philosophy idea that never attribute something to malice that can be explained by stupidity. I'm going to add a bit to that, even though I think that is a beautiful and accurate representation of what we're seeing both in the assassination attempt, but also what's currently happening in this country. Um, I would go extend further to also include selfishness or greed. So stupidity, selfishness, and greed. Um, these companies are making billions, tens of billions of dollars off of the erosion of the mental health of our young people. And they don't care. They care about power. They are hungry and lustful for more opportunity to influence more minds. Google, without a doubt, sits there in their high tower in Silicon Valley celebrating how much influence they have over the election.
Oh yeah.
They're going to do that to the day that they are held accountable for the damage that they've done to this country.
Do you think that'll ever happen?
I do. Yep.
You think that day of reckoning is coming?
I do. I Your kids aren't on social media. My kids aren't on social media. The pendulum has swung too far in one direction, and anytime it swings too far one way, man, it gets that momentum and starts coming back violently.
Yeah.
Um, and we've seen it with civil rights. We've seen it economically, and I think we're about to see the kind of the social contagion that is an awakening of truth. I think people have been starving for truth for a really long time. Misinformation, they've been lied to. The media has been lying to them. Social media has been lying to them. And now they want nothing, and they desperately want it. They want to know what's real. They want to taste real sourdough bread. They
Right.
want to taste what a real egg tastes like. They want to open up a tomato and to see that it's not white on the inside when they farm grow a tomato and it's rich, sweet, and delicious. They want to see their kids that don't have, brain related illnesses associated with all the poisons that they've been fed and the dyes that they've been eating. Like, people are starving for it and they're waking up.
Yeah.
And man, woe be the person that is on the opposite end of a parent that has realized that their children have been hurt.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's sad to see that the fake foods that they're just like pushing on everybody. Here in Colorado, they try to they're implementing all these hunting bans. Like they're trying to ban mountain lion hunting. They introduce wolves because they're trying to kill all the ungulates, right? They do not want you to be able to go out and kill and eat food that you've killed yourself. They don't want you to be able to do that.
They don't want you to be able to provide for yourself. They want you to
Exactly.
be dependent. That's what they want.
Exactly.
And the mechanisms, the levers in which they're maneuvering to do that is introducing predators, removing hunting opportunities, reducing hunting land, removing BLM land. So like, but all of those things are, the end result is removing sovereignty. And that's what Apathy Strong is. We're trying to give sovereignty. We're trying to give freedom. We're trying to empower the individual. All the while, we're combating every single every single group, every single .gov, every single .edu that is trying at every opportunity to take away sovereignty.
Right.
So like, you don't get freedom. You have to earn freedom. You have to fight for freedom. And people have just been lazy. And in that time, man, they lost everything.
Extremely lazy. For example, 10 million voting age hunters that have a hunting license, 10 million didn't vote in the last election. That changes everything. I think about how much of a shit show the last 4 years have been because it's not Joe Biden running the show, obviously. Like he has not, I mean, it's obvious that it's the biggest cover up, maybe besides the JFK assassination in the history of our country, I think, of them trying to make it seem like he's cognitively just fine. Like he's okay. He's doing it fine. He's kicking ass. This dude is eating ice cream and going to sleep at 8 p.m. Like he's not up running the country. He's not doing anything. So who's really pulling the strings? That's what I want to know. I want to know who's really running the show. And I think a lot of people in this country are just like blind to it, just completely blind. They're just like, you know what? Everything will be fine. It'll be okay. And if you don't vote, then I don't want to hear you bitch about it, because that's the only way you can change anything is if you get your ass up and go vote. You have to vote for what you believe in. You get what you vote for.
43 years ago, Ronald Reagan in 1981, there was an assassination attempt on him. Do you know what happened in 1984?
What?
He won 49 states.
Yeah, he hammered them. Well, that's the other thing. We might as well, since we're talking about assassinations, we might as well talk about what just happened. I don't know if you're a religious man. I'm not extremely religious, but watching that video has put like this feeling in me, like God is watching over.
That's divine intervention.
It is 1000%.
A centimeter in any direction, up, down, left, right, 1 mile an hour of wind difference. The former president Trump is dead. You can't wrap your head around. So like this portion, a bullet impacting anything from the temple back, you're dead.
Yeah.
There's no survivability of that. That bullet is traveling 2,900 feet per second. It was shot at 151 yards. That person, like nobody lives through that. And his head was absolutely perfect for almost a 90-degree angle impact into his head. And at the very last second, the bullet was already in the air when he turned his head like this to look at a chart behind him. And when he turned his head, in that half a second, that bullet went through his ear instead of striking the side of his head.
If that's not divine intervention, I don't know what is. I mean, I don't know what more proof do you need? People want to talk about coincidence, this and that, we got lucky. And then you talk about what has happened with the DEI hires is destroying. I mean, it's destroying major companies. Look at what's happening at Boeing. Look at what's happening with, countless companies, but in our government right now, right? The people that are protecting the leader of the free world or the potential leader of the free world should be the best of the absolute best. And you're telling me that, things that I'm seeing about this, that they had, I think the guy that actually shot him said he had him in his sights for 3 minutes. And the director of the Secret Service told him not to shoot. Why?
That has been debunked to a degree. They knew where he was for 3 minutes, but they didn't know what it was. And Derek, I 100% agree on the incompetence, how inept they are, their negligence, it's easy to put a label on the DEI thing, but you have to kind of explain what that looks like. You are a giant of a man. You are an incredible shooter. You are physically strong, and you are able to move a 6'4", 265-pound man if he needs to get off a stage. Somebody that weighs 115 pounds, man or woman, isn't able to do the job, which is to block a bullet that's incoming or to move the principal off the X. On the shooting side, you are 10 times more capable than that 20-year-old with the rifle. Thank God it wasn't you, right? But on the flip side, your ability to engage a target at 150 meters or 151 yards, with the suppressed variable power optic, that's probably your zero range on half the guns that you own.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you can't shoot at 150 yards, I mean,
get out.
Yeah, just get out. Just stop. Just stop. You shouldn't even be trying. So that I really, the DEI stuff, right? The best, any job, I come from, you're the same way. You come from very elite group of people, right? The best person for the job is the one that's going to play on Sunday. Whoever is the best, that's
38 Asian woman should be on the offensive line. I think should do a really great job protecting that quarterback.
Well, we need some more diversity out there on the offensive line.
You do.
I would be a dream of mine. Just go ahead and line up some tiny Asian woman so I can get by her easy.
But it's madness when you put it into the sports perspective. When you look at like the Usain Bolts or anybody in the NFL or at the NBA, you're like, right, where's the diversity and inclusion in the NBA? It doesn't matter, right? Because money's on the line.
Yep.
But when an idea supersedes the job, the job doesn't matter anymore. And or even in the worst case, when that job is protecting people, flying an airplane, running into a burning building to put out a fire or to rescue a young child, protecting and preserving the community as law enforcement, being the most lethal fighting force on the planet, like the military, it's merit based only. But what has happened is that they have put an idea of DEI over the purpose of that job at the expense of the people that are receiving that service.
Yeah.
And that is so un-American, and it's so horrifically dangerous.
Yeah. And we talk about, you know, we almost lost a presidential candidate, a former president, and probably the next president. I think he will win by a landslide, but we also lost, you know, a firefighter. We lost an American that it should have never happened. That should have never happened. There's no way you're telling me, you know, I just give the example. You were on Obama's detail before in Haiti, right? So Obama came to the University of Cincinnati when I was there, and they had that place was on lockdown. Like we couldn't go anywhere. We couldn't go into anywhere near our facility. They were, I mean, within like a mile of that place, of the campus, it was shut down. Like nobody was allowed in there. They had so much, it was so much security and protection. How does somebody get 150 yards with a long rifle away from the president? How does that happen?
Yeah, it's impossible. It is not something that could have happened on the scale of like inept, negligent, stupid, incompetent. Like if that's one end, all the way over to like in cahoots, complicit, you know, associated and supporting. On that spectrum of that continuum, I'm like way over here because you can't be so stupid.
Right.
You can't be so incompetent. You can't be so understaffed that you cannot protect one of two rooftops that are within 150 meters with line of sight to the former president.
Yeah. It's pretty obvious that they wanted him dead.